I don't know if you can speak to this, but or if this aligns with your experience, but I think, through most of life, you kind of had an idea of where you were expected to be, right? I was expected to be in high school around this age, graduating
Mm.
college around this age, starting my career around this age, getting married around this age. When you don't have kids, something happens there in the late maybe 30s or early 40s where you see everybody else doing the thing that that society expects that age group to do, have children and the birthday parties and little league games and all that kind of stuff. But as a dink, you're kind of it's both exciting and kind of disorienting of like, well, I don't know, what does a dink do in their 40s without children? Have you experienced anything like that or talked to any other dinks who've had that kind of sense?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit disconcerting when suddenly you go from nights out to like first birthday parties. And yeah, so it takes a bit of adjustment if you haven't made the jump. Uh, and there's, because parents need community and assistance, there's naturally going to be kind of parents go on holiday together, so that you you don't have to worry about your children kind of bothering the other people, or it just kind of feels, I think, more supportive if you're both in the same boat. And so I'm not blaming parents for doing that. It's just something that naturally happens. But I guess I've personally been lucky that my friends who have kids have really made an effort to still see the ones who haven't. And also about half my friends haven't and aren't planning on having kids. So there's two different crowds, and we still interact, and it's not tense or anything. I think a lot of this division is slightly inflated on the internet for clicks or kind of just to get think pieces. And actually, in real life, I mean, there's definitely changes, but I think if you have a honest conversations with your friends about, look, this is right for me, that's right for you, and I'm happy for you, but yeah, let's still hang out. I think that's the better way of doing it, rather than being like my lifestyle is better than yours. I don't think that's a helpful or friendly way of going about it.
Oh yeah, no, I also absolutely agree with that and had a similar experience with my friend group. But what I was also kind of speaking to is at least for me and some of the other dinks I've talked to, and they're kind of like late 30s, early 40s. They see their friends have a pretty structured path forward, right? They're raising these kids, they're bringing them to school, they're making sure they have their birthday parties, little leagues. As the dink, though, you have a kind of sense of freedom and can do whatever you want that's both exciting and sometimes kind of disorienting, right? You're trying to figure out like, well, what should I be doing at 45 or something like that. You don't have that kind of map where someone I think
Mm.
living the traditional lifestyle does. Did you come across other dinks or folks who had those similar thoughts?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I've definitely had a bit of that. It does feel a little bit like a second adolescence, where you're just kind of rediscovering who you are, and you realize actually I've got a little bit more money than I used to, and I can take some time off work. And what am I going to do with that time? And that's very liberating. It's exciting. You can say I want to go to this place on the map, and you go there, and you have a nice time, or you do whatever you like. So it's kind of rediscovering yourself and your interests and figuring out who you are now at this stage in your life. There's less structure, but I don't really find that I have so much free time.